More phone calls coming up. Hour from now, Phillip Rivers, former Chargers quarterback, the current Chargers quarterback, Justin Herbert, in his you're in your sixth year? Wow.
Going by fast.
Wow. Take me back to your junior year. You had really good numbers at Oregon. How close were you to coming out after your junior year?
Yeah, really not that close. Just the way the season ended, I wanted to come back and make sure that we ended on the right foot. And I still feel like I had so much to improve and get better at. And, I think that was something that we accomplished my senior year.
And then you played, 13 or 14 more games. And scouts like to have around 25 to 30 starts to be able to assess. So I think you had close to 40, 45 starts in your career. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I missed 6 games my sophomore year with a broken clavicle. So I feel like that was, good film to put back on tape.
How's the relationship with Coach Harbaugh?
It's awesome. He's an incredible coach. Everyone loves to play for him. We just want to make him proud. And, he's a competitor. And I think that's the best thing about him is he just wants to win. However, we go about it. That's his main focus.
He's a little goofy, though, at times, right?
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing. I think to have a personality as a coach is great. He walks into team meeting rooms, and it's not always just football. It's more than that. And I think the guys respect that. They appreciate that, and it makes it easier to relate to him.
How would you assess his throwing motion, his arm?
I actually haven't seen him throw a lot recently. I think he's been catching more passes, and I think his arms have kind of taken a toll, and but he can still throw if he needs to.
Okay, you're being polite here. You're choosing your words carefully there.
I respect that, man.
Does he go into the weight room with you guys?
Yeah, he's in there all the time. He's lifting. He's getting in the cold tubs. He does everything a player does. It's awesome.
Wait, he gets in the cold tub with you?
He does. Well, not like with me specifically, but
there's only room for one in the cold tub?
No, it could fit 15 guys. So after practice, he's in there recovering and doing everything he can to maximize his recovery.
But his brother said that Jim gets in the ice tub in his khakis. Is that right?
He has before, yes. I think it's maybe a time constraint if he's low on time.
Oh, okay.
He'll just maximize the recovery.
Okay, so you're not playing tonight. Are you going to have an earpiece in, headset on?
I think so. I think that'd be the plan, just to be able to hear the play and talk about whatever I need to.
Any input?
No, probably not. I think more so, when we're playing a game, Greg Roman and I will meet and we'll talk about, the plays that I do like, what I don't like. And I think that's a meeting that happens with the quarterbacks the day before, a couple days before, just to talk through it.
Help me understand the offensive philosophy, because statistically they weren't great numbers, big numbers, but your quarterback rating was, I think, your highest. And Jim loves to run the football. So how would you describe the offense that the Chargers will have this year?
Yeah, I think for us to be successful, we have to be able to do everything. I think it starts with our run game, the offensive line that we've put together and being able to run the ball behind those guys. But then at the same time, that's what's going to open up our play action game. And I think we had a really good play action game last year, but something we can continue to improve on. And then when we're running the ball well, I think we're going to pass the ball well too. And being able to scramble, extend plays on my feet, I think that's something I wasn't really able to do much of last year, but is still a huge part of my game and something that we need to do this year.
Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday, that I go back to, I think, the Rose Bowl, where you had your legs were on display. You had a great performance there. That you're around the same size as Josh Allen, aren't you?
Yeah, I think I might be a little lighter. He's probably a little bit stronger.
But can you run like he runs? Would Coach Harbaugh let you have that kind of weapon?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I really respect about his game is how many times they run quarterback power, and he's running between the tackles, and he's able to take those hits and deliver a few of them, and you see how many touchdowns he scores in the red zone, and just the way he affects the game too. I think that's something that we really respect, and if we could emulate that and kind of work that into my game, I think that'd be really helpful for us.
He's Justin Herbert, Chargers quarterback, sixth overall pick in the 2020 draft by the Chargers. He was the offensive rookie of the year, made the Pro Bowl in 2021. Give me the quarterback or quarterbacks Like, do you sample from quarterbacks and say, maybe I could use that? I could put that into, my repertoire?
Yeah, for sure. Especially coming out of college, that was one of those things where you watch a lot of film on the NFL guys, and at the time we were watching Tom Brady, just how he did everything footwork wise was the best. We watched a lot of Matt Ryan with his play action fakes. I think that was something that we always talked about, how quickly he snapped his head around, was able to get his eyes downfield. And then Drew Brees, his footwork too, and just the way he went through his progressions and played the quarterback position. I think those three guys were, really important for me watching.
Okay, explain footwork with Tom Brady. What exactly is that, and is it teachable?
Yeah, I think the easiest way to describe it would be just to time everything up with the route. A short route is going to have quicker footwork, and a longer route, play action is going to time it up. And one of the things that I always try to avoid is standing still in the pocket and just bouncing around, because you have a tough time seeing when you're going up and down. And as long as you're in rhythm and your feet are aligned with how deep the receiver is going to get, I think it makes it easier on the throw, and definitely easier, stepping up in the pocket as well.
Okay, but what's that clock like in your head when you go back to pass? At what point do you go, uh-oh, like I got to start, I got to have my head on a swivel?
Yep. As soon as you get to the top of your drop, where you're dropping back, and it's either a quick setup where you're hoping the ends go around you and the tackles push them upfield, or you're finding a lane to run through. But it's quick, and that's just how fast those guys are on defense. And you got to protect the ball, you got to avoid sacks, and that's something that Coach Harbaugh talks about all the time. So we're gonna get better at that this year.
What was your welcome to the NFL hit?
I would say I was rolling out one year, tried to make this play where I could spin in the pocket and just kind of run around, and then I got hit by Max Crosby, and I didn't even see him. And that was when I was like, yeah, these guys are much faster than I am. I got to be able to step up, throw it away. Taking a sack is not the worst thing, but running into that thing, that was
Well,
bad.
and Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, two of the greatest ever, had no problem just kind of going into the fetal position instead of, you have to live to call another play. And that's hard for you, because in college and high school, you could get away with this stuff. In the NFL, you can't. How tough is that to go, just take a sack or just throw it away?
Yeah, that's the tough part, because like you said, high school and college, you'd be able to make some of those plays, and you'd get rewarded for making a crazy play like that. And then you come to the NFL, and everyone on defense is faster than you. And sometimes it's okay to wave the white flag, go down, and live for another play, where a sack is not as bad as a fumble, and a throwaway is not as bad. So it's just kind of living through that list and making sure that you're protecting the ball and putting the team in a good position to win.
Who's your rival?
Shoot, I would say we've got a lot of rivals. I definitely would say the Chiefs, Raiders, and the Broncos. I think the AFC West is so competitive, and we've definitely had our fair share of competitions with those guys. Chiefs have gotten us the past few years.
But do you hate the
so we got a lot of
Chiefs?
respect for
Like,
them.
do you hate one of them a little more than the other ones?
I would just say it's been a little lopsided the past couple of years, and that's just something that we've got a great opportunity to play them twice this year, and we know how good they are, and how much success they've had in the league over the past several years. So it's always a good opportunity for us to go play and be the team that we want to be.
What advice would you give a rookie quarterback? Let's say Cam Ward calls you up and said, "Give me some advice on what it's like."
Yeah, I would say to sacrifice now so you can enjoy everything later. Just to go through everything, and watch an extra hour of film, do an extra hour of recovery, make sure you're taking care of your body. And there's always going to be times to go hang out with your friends and do all these extracurricular activities. But right now you're a quarterback. A franchise has put their trust in you to lead this entire organization, and to make sure that you're doing everything you can for your teammates, the coaching staff, the community, because it's really important. And at the end of the day, if you're doing that, you're in good steps.
Wait, did you give me an organization? Did you give me a Canadian organization?
Organization.
Yeah, it sounded like Maybe that's Canadian, proximity there, but organization. You gave me an organization, which is what they do in Canada. So don't want you to think too long and hard about that. Maybe, any Canadian roots in your family?
I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure. You gave me a little organization. Hey, it's great to see you again, and we'll be. Well, you're not going to be doing anything tonight, so I was going to say we'll be watching, but you're going to be watching too.
I'm going to be supporting the team. I'm going to be out there, offering how whatever I can. So,
thanks for joining us.
yeah, you bet. Thank you.
That's Justin Herbert. Last year, regular season stats, 23-3, 23 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 3,800 yards. Like, those are all really good numbers. But then that Coach Harbaugh loves to run the football.